Germany has 2.8 million millionaires, which is a little over 3% of the total population. And you can become a millionaire too, even with the German average salary of 4,323 euros. All you have to do is to learn from the newest millionaire study here in Germany that we will take a look at in this video. Who is the typical millionaire? What do they do differently than anybody else? And how do they invest their money? I used many of the strategies myself for many years, and they turned out extremely well. So, are you ready to become a millionaire? Then let's go. Let's try to get our heads around how much money the average millionaire here in Germany really has. Private households have a combined 7.7 trillion euros. And notice that I'm saying private. The value of companies or foundations that rich people have is not even included in this statistic. If you divide that 7.7 trillion by the more than 84 million people living in this country, we find that the average German has a net worth of 91,131 euros. Pretty good, but not quite millionaire status. Am I right? To find out how much money the average German millionaire has, we need to look at the study from the Deutsches Institut für Wirtschaftsforschung. They have 4 different categories: the bottom 50%, the middle class, wealthy people, and millionaires. The bottom 50% have less than 22,800 euro net worth. The middle class has up to 126,000, and wealthy people up to 1 million. Obviously, because after that come the millionaires. And the average millionaire has 2,941,882 euros. Holy cow. So if the average millionaire would do nothing, we'll talk about their job and work ethic in just a moment, but if they would do nothing except investing their money, they could withdraw over 117,000 euros a year with the 4% rule. That is almost 10,000 euros a month without doing any work. And that is also 2.27 times higher than the average German salary we talked about earlier. Incredible numbers that show you once you get wealthy and have a lot of money to work for you, it's almost impossible to not get richer and richer. But don't be mistaken that the average millionaire is just lying around watching Netflix all day. No, no, no. The DIW study shows that only 5% of millionaires don't work, which is actually less than the 6.1 overall unemployment rate here in Germany. So there are not just more millionaires working compared to the rest. In fact, millionaires work more than anybody else. The DIW study compares working hours per week and finds that the first 3 categories work fairly consistently 37 hours per week. Only the millionaires work 10 hours per week more. Why? Because most billionaires are self-employed. By a tremendous margin, actually. And being self-employed myself, I can tell you firsthand that it's normal for us to work on weekends too. And I know 37 hours versus 47 hours might not sound like a tremendous difference. It's just 10 hours per week, right? But over an entire year, that is 520 hours or 65 more workdays with 8 hours each, and 65 days is 13 work weeks or about 3 months. The millionaires work more than the rest of the population. But those are just 2 reasons why the millionaires earn more money. What else makes them different? Well, aside from the factors we just talked about that you can change, there are of course also some factors you cannot change. You can choose how long you want to work and if you want to work for yourself or for someone else. But you cannot choose if you are born a man or a woman. I know it's 2024 and everyone can be whatever they want to be, but if we go by biological facts, then women are represented with about 50% in each category, until we come to the millionaires. 31% of millionaires are women, and 69% are men. 69? Nice. Now what about you expats? The personal information you are probably most interested in is the only thing where I have some form of critique of the DIW study. They are doing an incredible job shedding some light on the statistical millionaire here in Germany and how the millionaires invest, which we'll come to in a moment. But an expat can be people like you who are highly skilled with a university degree, or a person that carries materials on construction sites from A to B. And those are not the same. And to prove my point, here's a statistic from the Institut der deutschen Wirtschaft, which shows median salaries. Median, not average. That's why the numbers are lower than what we had earlier. Average is all salaries added together and divided by the number of people. And the median is the middle person if you line up everyone from lowest to highest salary. And since very few people at the top with enormous salaries, like the ones we talked about in our German salary ranking, raise the average, but not the median is usually lower than the average. And people from India, Northern Europe, and Austria earn more than 1,000 euros per month more than the median German. Why? Because people from these countries are highly skilled and they shouldn't be compared with low-skilled workers from foreign countries. But the DIW study does, and that's why only 14% of expats are millionaires, which I'm sure that you and us, in a combined effort, can raise easily. All you gotta do is book a free meeting with us, and then we can work together in all the things that make millionaires millionaires, and invest in all the things that make millionaires millionaires. And lastly, before we come to the investments, how old is the statistical millionaire? You can see that nobody in their early 20s is wealthy or a millionaire. Only after the age of 25 is when people go into middle class or higher. And what you can clearly see from the ages is that the older people become, the richer they get. Which makes sense, right? Because you have more time to earn more money and more time to make compounding interest work for you. So let us talk about how these different categories invest. What do millionaires do differently? Because they're not just doing better financially, they're also happier in life when it comes to spare time, family, or health. Millionaires score 8.2 on a 0 to 10 scale, which is a lot higher than 7.1. So no matter if you are male, self-employed, not an expat, and older than 65 to be the perfect statistical millionaire, or you have none of these attributes, here's how you want to invest your money. The bottom 50% have a gross net worth of 11,139 euros, which consists mainly of their primary home with 2,733 euros? How is that even possible, you might ask, that someone has 2,700 euro in property value and 3,244 euro in car value? What's happening here? That a car is more valuable than a property. A lot of people own cars, but here in the bottom 50%, we might be talking about one person in 100 that owns a property. So on average, the number per person is quite low. Earlier I said gross net worth because they have debt as well, which is minus 7,457 euros, which means the real net worth of the bottom 50% is 3,682 euros. Compare that with the average consumer loan of almost 4,000 euros. These people are highly over-leveraged because their consumer loan is higher than their actual net worth. And it's not like that they are doing something meaningful with their money, because they have 887 euro in real estate investments, but owe 897 to the bank for these investments. And if you owe more to the bank that you own in real estate, in very simple terms, your life is tough, and I'm not gonna judge. Some people are in this category because of things that are out of their control. But some people are also in the bottom 50% for a reason, because of the decisions they made in life. When we came from Eastern Germany and my dad left us, I grew up with a single mom and we had absolutely nothing. and she had to work 2 jobs to make a living. But we climbed the economic ladder because we worked hard and because of the decisions that we made. And I'm sure you can climb the ladder as well if you learn from the people who are where you want to be and you are smart with your money. So let's take a look at the middle class. A lot more in real estate, more than 20 times for the primary home and almost 7 times as much in real estate investments. And they are paid off pretty nicely because we only have a little over 20,000 euro in mortgages. Compare that to the minus 10 euro of the bottom 50% that we talked about earlier. Consumer loans cut more than in half, which is a really good learning for you guys. Don't get consumer loans. I know that you have great investment options back in your home country and you use the consumer loan to invest there. But you are destroying your financial future here in Germany for very little financial gain after all the transfer fees, taxes, and stress you have with your tax declaration. Rather use the investments that we have here and you will make your life a lot easier. Do it like the middle class and invest in ETFs, in a broker or in a pension to save taxes. And don't do it like the middle class because they have almost 4,000 euros in a Bausparvertrag. Stay away from this. It's a big mistake. Now with the wealthy people, it gets real interesting because those guys have 81 times the net worth of the bottom 50% and 4 times the net worth of the middle class. How do they do it? Of course, everything is more. Investments, primary home, pensions, cars. But the number that really stands out is real estate investments. Compared to the middle class, the primary home of wealthy people is just 3 times more. But real estate investments are almost 9 times higher. And that's the major reason why they are so much more richer if you check the statistics. And of course, we can see in the number that increased the most, compared to the middle class, company value. That people here get more and more self-employed, which sets the tone for the millionaires. 1.25 million in company value, more than 4 times as much as the entire net worth of wealthy people. And it's not just that. Primary home is 3 times higher. Pensions are 6 times higher. Investments are almost 9 times higher. Real estate investments are 16 times higher. And Bausparvertrag is not even 2 times higher. So learn from the millionaires and stay away from it. And while you're at it, learn from the millionaires even more and invest how they invest their money. If you earn the average German salary of 4,323 euros that we had earlier, you have to pay taxes and social security on that, so your take-home pay will be 2,774 euros per month. If you invest 20% of that, according to the 50-30-20 rule, you have 555 euros every month. If you take the easy route and invest that in ETFs with 7% return per year, will that make you a millionaire over 30 years? Not quite. You will have a little over 800,000 euros. A lot of money, but not quite millionaire status. So we need something different. A base pension level 1 allows you to invest in ETFs, and on top of that, you can deduct your contributions from your taxes, giving you a 36% tax benefit because that is your personal maximum tax rate. Meaning you get 203 euro tax benefits per month that you can invest again. And with a 758 euro monthly savings rate in ETFs, you reach millionaire status over 30 years. Almost 1.1 million in fact. And if you do it the same way millionaires do it and invest your money in real estate, you would even raise the average because you have almost 4 million after 30 years. 14% return per year. Isn't that a little high, you might say? For the stock market, yes, but for real estate, no. Because of all the tax benefits you get as real estate investor and the leverage with the mortgage, we've had net returns of almost 30% per year in previous videos. So double the stock market with 14% is quite realistic. You can watch the calculations in the video yourself if you don't believe me. What did we learn in this video? There's a reason why millionaires are on top of the food chain, and it's not luck. Of course, some people inherit millions from their parents and they don't need to do anything for their entire life, but most millionaires work hard and are very smart when it comes to their investment decisions. And now you know that you can become a millionaire too, even if you're in your late 30s or early 40s. And you don't even need a lot of money because the average German salary is enough. All you gotta do is to make the right investment decisions. And if we can help you with that, then let us know by booking a free meeting with us on perfinex.de/meeting. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next one.